John was working in his science lab, got blasted by gamma rays. Now he's Smash Trivia John, always smashing. He's friends with Ruffalo, crushing on Maslany, and also Sydney Sweeney. John's here saying, hello my gamma friends, welcome to the show, the Gamma Analysis Podcast.
Smash.
Hello, my Gamma friends. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia. I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, I'm going to review everything Hulk on movies, TV shows, and I also do random other geeky films. I also sometimes don't review a film at all. I'll like this episode. I would hope you enjoy Smash Trivia Presents the Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening if they could please do sign for me. Please share out the hell out of this podcast with your friends. And if you don't, Hulk be angry. Now let's smash right into this episode. Today is an interview with some of the cast and crew of an upcoming Captain America audio drama. Would you guys all like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm the producer, editor, and like 9 other things for it. I'm John, other John. Also, I'm a co-writer with a game co-director with the other guy who's about to introduce himself.
Yep, I'm Henry, the blue. Sometimes I'm green. I'm the co-director, producer, writer. I'm not sure what the hell I am. I'm the other John.
All right, and I am Connor, man in trench coat on Twitter, and I play half the cast we'll get into later, and I'm also the guy that looks at script inconsistencies with these people.
Well, it's happened at least once where John and I will post a script, and then Connor's like, "Hey, how did that happen?" Fuck.
Yeah, no, you'll see the first text from us just being fuck. Be like, oh god, we screwed up. No, but the big thing.
Hello?
Oh, it's good. Hi. Oh god. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. Sorry,
Yeah,
my audio is awful. This is going to be a problem. But anyways, no. But the first thing with the minute we post a script, I'm always a little scared that Connor's be like, so this doesn't work based on your canon, bitch. And I'm like, oh fuck. He did whenever we posted the one of the episodes. I'm not going to reveal what it is. He gave me a suggestion that made that one scene so much fucking better. It also improved, gave a longer runtime. Which Jesus, do I need that? So that was nice. But yeah,
He's the secondary whatever we are.
It's always nice to have someone who is actually willing to look at your script and give meaningful feedback. Most people, if you ask them to look at a script, they'll be like, it's good, or they will just shit all over it without giving any kind of actual, this will help.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got the crew. We're the crew and one part of the cast.
Yeah.
to be fair, he is the biggest part of the cast. He may rival Captain America in the amount of like lines he has.
He might, just because of how many supporting characters he is. He might have more.
When we were on my Twitter at the Comics Fiend, go follow that for more updates and stuff. I posted a form. It's like, hey, if you'd be interested in auditioning for Captain America: The Star-Spangled Man, this show, please fill out the form and do a quick audio tape. And Connor, I suggested everyone should do all of them, just so even if you think you may be a good Bucky, but it turns out you're an amazing fucking Uatu or whatever the hell. And Connor did them all, except Connor got most of them.
Yeah, because, John and I, we filtered through all of the auditions and we're like, damn, we should give this one to Connor. Yeah, I think this one should go to Connor. Fuck, we gave all the Nazis to Connor.
Yeah, Connor's every Nazi but one of them.
Oh, God.
Okay, say it that way. But for context to the audio listeners, me and Smash Trivia John, we met through another project where we both auditioned for characters and stuff.
You're cheating on us with another project?
No, I cheated on him with you.
Oh, good. Okay,
Oh.
cool. I prefer being the mistress.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that was another show where I just had like 4 different roles.
Yeah. So
You're cursed to be the cast.
Yes.
so for when I whenever I see like audition things like that on Twitter, I'll like do as many of the audition any of them as I can, but then if I get one of them I don't go back and do like the additional auditions from the project, just because I'm like I don't want to take away everybody else's his chances of being in this.
I suppose we should clarify that we are part of a Captain America project.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've clarified that yet.
Should I go into the spiel?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. So, I am the weird saying this because I don't want to have like another thing under my belt, but I kind of now am a founder of 928 Productions, a audio production company creating fan audio dramas about your favorite superheroes. And our first one was going to be a thing called Champions Charge, but due to some internal issues with both me and the cast, it's now going to be reduced to the Champions Charge special, releasing on September 1st, which is going to be the first 4. You know those like old Disney movies where like Atlantis 2, where it was like, okay, we were going to make an Atlantis show, but that never fucking panned out. We had a lot of episodes, so we kind of put them together. That's how I'm going to release
Moana 2.
Yeah. Yes. I am nodding my head vigorously for those listening at home. And then I've known Henry for a minute, because we do these fan AU things together. So we've known each other. We've known each other a couple months actually. And
we do those AUs, then we split off into our own AUs because we have too many ideas.
See, the thing is, we both don't want to do like our actual life shit, so we just fuck around writing stuff.
Hey, I'm doing life shit right now. The dog needed walked.
Oh, okay, cool. But anyways, me and him, Henry more than me, are really big Captain America fans.
Hell yeah.
I'm really more of like just an Invaders fan. I prefer like Union Jack and shit over Captain America, to be honest. But I'm like, hey, dude, you want to make this? I just shot him up one day. I'm like, hey, man, I have an idea. Do you want to do this with me? And now we're here, and we are getting really close to that release date. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I think I'm just causing Henry to shit his pants because that's really soon. I should be more worried because the editing. But the thing is, the editing is coming really easily.
I just have episodes I need to write.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do, Henry.
Connor, I will make you do more Zola lines.
No, please, my voice can't take it.
Connor, we've
already done the episode.
Connor, I will just go send out those the files of you just going as Zemo. Like not Zemo, Zola. There's a lot of Z Nazis in Marvel.
I mean, really, there's just 2.
Well, the 2 of the Dr. Doofenshmirtz, man, bitch. Okay, but yeah, no, that's the kind of like Captain America: Spangled Man follows just to go like into a bit of a more spiel about it. It follows Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes in World War, or at least the first season. Follows because we have plans for 3 seasons.
Am I the only one who can't hear him?
You're a little quiet there, John.
I can get closer to my mic. Is this better?
I do that.
Ugh. I'm sorry, John. You have to edit this.
It'll be fine.
No, but so essentially, what's the fuck? What was it talking about? Oh yeah, it follows. We have plans for 3 seasons. We are making 1 season. That is the one in production right now. We have episode plans for every episode of season 2, and we have base ideas for season 3. And we have ideas for up to a season 4, but season 1 and 2 are definitely happening, regardless of like viewership.
Oh, cool.
Which hopefully is a bit because I've poured a lot of like hard work and effort into this, and it is becoming my baby.
Nice.
But yeah, the first season follows Captain America in World War II fighting Nazis. It's a very episodic show. There's a little bit of overarching plot, but it's really carry over in season two. Of Captain America fighting Nazis, the invaders show up, bunch of team up episodes. Most of the show is team up episodes. There is sadly, we should have planned it out better, but hindsight's 2020. There's not really a ton of episodes of just Captain America on his own. So it's like Captain America and Namor, Captain America and Black Panther, Captain America and the Goon Squadron, whoever the fuck else. That's what I'm gonna start calling the invaders now.
The Goons.
The Goons. And then I'm gonna edit that one indie comic, the Goon. I'm gonna edit their faces onto each invader.
Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Oh.
You ruined that for me, Henry. Damn. Hate you.
I have some questions for you guys. I asked for us to go into. So first, what's the impetus behind this series?
Okay, so like just I think we kind of answered that already. Like we talked a little. Sorry, I answered it because I can. Yeah. Talk a little bit about like the kind of how the show came into existence of just me hitting Henry up. And this was again after working on Champion's Charge, which that was kind of more a testing ground. Like I can write a script. I love the Champions a lot, and I'm really bummed out that show did not get isn't getting fully made because I had a lot of this is scratch content at the point, but Baron Blood was going to be the main villain of the show. Ultron was going to be that was going to be fun. Nuke was the villain of the first episode. Nuke of all characters, that one-off Punisher villain and Captain America villain, I think.
He's in everyone who has like minimal powers.
He fought Wolverine, Death of Wolverine. That's what I really remember him for.
He was the cop that was banging Hellcat and Jessica Jones.
Really?
Huh.
Is his name Frank Clementi, or am I going crazy?
They changed his name to Will.
They did a lot of very obscure characters in the Netflix show.
Fucking
the Wizard.
Patsy Walker was the main side character.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Wizard was in it. The fucking Wizard.
I hate the Wizard in that show.
Anyway, sorry, we're getting a little off track.
Oh. Well, since we've gone to that, next is a question where you can both talk about like if there's any like particular comic stories that is there inspirations for the show, or if there's just some comics that inspire each one of you in general. I'll just as you really like them and they you think they're very inspiring stories.
Henry, you can go first in this one, just because I talked a lot.
Oh, just one of my. I just gotten off of reading it when John talked to me about it, but I've always liked the stories with Captain Dimension Z. The events of that story have no effect on anything happening here, but I just like it as an exploration of Steve's character.
Mm-hmm. With my Steve writing that I've done, I've taken a lot from that. It was my first like ongoing Captain America book that I was kind of like reading. That was remember back a couple years ago when Captain America launched Captain America issue 0 and it diverged into two titles, Symbol of Truth and Sentinel of Liberty. I didn't really fuck with Symbol. I love Sam Cap. I did not really fuck with Symbol of Truth. But I love Sentinel of Liberty. I know that writers are kind of like lately, but Sentinel of Liberty is their best work. Maybe like Roger Aubrey, who did the Mighty Destroyer, or one of them. There's fucking 5. And I don't know which one came first. It's Brian Falsworth. But that is my favorite Captain America story. Along with that is also there's a book called The Marvels Project that was around Marvel's 70th anniversary. They released this book. It was written by Brubaker. I just got a copy of it physically. So I'm not gonna pull that out, but like The Marvels Project is really good. It's a good exploration of the golden age of Marvel Comics. Captain America White by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's amazing. It's the weakest of the color quadrilogy, I guess, with the best being either Spider-Man Blue or Daredevil Yellow. Hulk Gray is not bad. I like Hulk Gray. But Captain America Patriot too. I like that book a lot. Cool. Mainly for vibes.
Not to spoil, I guess that would be a spoiler. Never mind.
And then me and Henry both took a bunch of inspiration from EMH in our depiction of Captain America. Because EMH, or It's Mighty Heroes for the layman. I don't love saying layman there. But for like the overall comics inspire, like just in general, Miss Marvel, from G. Will Wilson, especially with character writing, is like kind of the pinnacle I strive towards.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it.
Connor, are there any comics that inspire you?
I'm not really a part of the creative side of this story, but we had some recommended reading that was given to us by John and Henry, and some of it included obviously the Marvels project you guys talked about, and Captain America: The Medusa Effect.
Oh, cool.
The little one shot.
So, my next question is you mentioned it's an episodic show instead of a serialized. So, but is there a main villain for your show? And if so, who is it?
I wouldn't.
It
I'd
kind
probably
of
say, oh, you go, Henry.
it kind of could go between two characters, the Red Skull or Baron Zemo.
Okay.
But it's a
I would
World War
say-
II Captain America story. I think those two are pretty
Yeah.
predictable.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm the one who's playing Zemo.
fun.
I think
I would probably say Zemo.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Just because like a lot of the shit like goes back to him like just repeatedly. Like just I created I have a notebook for all my ideas for the series, just ideas for like comics and shit. And I did a little map of how like each thing in the series connects, like each episode, and like
nice.
or all the episodes I've written so far, anyways, or all the episodes they did rip. So I've done my half of the writing, and how all of them backtrack to Zemo. So he kind of works as this overall antagonist.
Okay.
Yeah, but the main antagonist is the what's called the crew getting their lines in on time. Not you, Connor.
Yeah,
You're
me.
perfect.
Good.
Oh man.
If
Thank
you
you.
don't mind, I would like to talk a little bit about like my stuff for Zemo.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I think for when I was recording, my main inspiration for how I voiced Zemo was again Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes with Robin Atkin Downs' performance. And a fun thing with for me and Baron Zemo is back in high school, I was a theater kid, and one of the big things that we did in our senior years was write these little 15-minute movie spoofs for the theater class to perform. And I did one for Captain America Civil War. I wrote a whole
Nice.
script for that, and I had played Baron Zemo for that. And doing that and some other stuff beforehand is why I've always loved playing villains. Like you get to have the most fun. It's you bring in that showmanship, and that's why I've loved voice acting and why I audition for everything.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I can absolutely understand that.
Yeah.
I find it I find it so much fun on voice acting, and I think so the stuff that I'm doing with you, Connor, for honor for Logan and Diamond Spider P is one of the first like things I've ever done for anyone else, but I've done some like I've done when I used to have a Patreon on for my podcast, and I would do recordings where I would read comics voicing the characters as I go through them, and I always had so much fun doing that.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's another thing that I would love to do once I have more time to do.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really relate to the voice acting, but he mentioned Zemo and his showmanship. That's part of why I like writing him. He's a very classical supervillain.
Yeah, you must be able to bring that. How can I say it? Sadism.
You gotta bring up like you gotta ham it up so much to like an absurd degree, or like it's like you're playing an actual Nazi, and then that's a bummer to watch.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I like there's a reason I enjoy like Baron Blood and shit. Like he's an awful, terrible person, but in a really fun way.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, like I feel
He's just entertaining.
I feel
Must challenge the supremacy.
similarly about a character like David Tennant's Kilgrave. He's an awful person, but he's so much fun to watch.
I think that's just David Tennant, like anything. Actually, being awful. He's apparently he's just a great person.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Apparently, David Tennant's a stage name. Did not know that.
Which and
really,
I personally am someone who I actually have a lot of trouble watching things when the villains feel too realistic to people in real life, and I'm like, it just makes me uncomfortable watching it. And I much rather the over the top ridiculous villains.
Yeah, I think for me, I see Baron Zemo as Captain America's Joker.
Yeah, he's if Captain America should die, it should be at Baron Zemo's hand or old age.
So are we gonna be having any times where Baron Zemo goes to a club and just starts dancing randomly,
just, with his weird oh honey kind of dance moves.
Oh, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you. Really,
can you just say
really badly.
Connor, in the Zemo voice, can you just say it's time to boogie?
It is time to boogie.
Now hit the Zemo dance. Yeah, this weird little white guy dance in the corner.
Not this silly little white boy dance.
A couple years ago,
voice.
a couple years ago, I went to a buddy's graduation, and for context, he is Black Mexican. And I shut up. I was expecting to be a bunch I was the only white person there, so I was in the corner because I was scared to offend anyone. So I'm just drinking my drink, and then "Hot to Go" by Chapel Roan starts playing. I dance a little bit. This guy's dad looks over at me and yells, "Go white boy, go!" And that's how I feel every time I see that Zemo scene. And I'm like, "Oh, go white boy, go Zemo!"
So next I want to ask so you guys, as said, some different comics that inspired the series. Are you gonna be going particularly on those plot lines, or are you or are you gonna be creating any stories from scratch?
Most of them are from scratch with existing elements.
All of them. I'm not gonna say the first episode is Captain America's origin, just beat for beat, just
makes sense.
But the rest of the show is all us.
Okay, cool.
It is nice. We're not adapting shit from comics. Which is we kind of do a half-assed adaptation of Flags of Our Fathers, because there's not really the Gabriel Jones element in it. It is Captain America and Phineas Horton going to Wakanda to get some vibranium, and the Black Panther strikes. Also, yeah, Phineas Horton is a major character in the show.
He is very important. You remember Howard Stark from the first Captain America movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we made him Phineas Horton. And
and guess who's playing him?
Yeah, the way I described him in the audition is go 1940s Big Idea Man.
You referred specifically to Howard Hughes. I didn't know who Howard Hughes was, so I went with this big radio voice.
Yeah, you gotta go those radio oh fuck, I burned the shit out of my finger. You gotta go the big radio voice.
We've already mentioned the Invaders band with Phineas Horton. His son does play a major part. How's it feel being a father?
Yeah, Connor.
It feels fantastic. For context, to those uninitiated, Phineas Horton is the man who constructs and brings to life Jim Hammond, the Human Torch.
Except he's not human. He's a fucking robot. We call it a Human Torch.
I know.
Jim
Branding,
Hammond,
my friend. Branding.
Jim Hammond from the Chip Zdarsky Invaders book briefly got the name Iron Torch. I wish it would have been Steel Torch or something, because Iron, it's too synonymous, the Iron Man branding. But I think giving him Cobalt Torch or something like that is kind of cool. I love the Human Torch name. I think that's what you should say, but if it should change, it should be some cool metal.
No, if any Human Torch it has to change their name. It should be the second one, the ripoff.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Johnny Storm should be
Jimmy Thunder.
It's not a very cool name, but what would probably be fitting is blowtorch.
I feel like too many jokes are going to be made out of that immediately.
Namor, I bet, calls him blown torch. They're totally straight.
Oh man.
Speaking about gay people,
I'm also voicing Namor.
Yeah, so, you are both your son and your son's lover. It's amazing.
Good God.
Connor's about to go get a cig.
We haven't recorded that one yet.
So next I want to ask, what's it like working on this series? How does it differ making it making an audio drama versus a like regular or sort of show, both from a writing and for Connor from an acting standpoint?
I'm gonna start this off with from an editing standpoint.
Okay.
Because this is really interesting that like no one told me, but I found out you have to do. So the way we record lines and like the way we write our scripts, we will go Uatu 1, Steve 1, Uatu 2, Steve 2, Uatu 1, new character 1, Uatu 3. Like we'll go like we'll number each line per character. This just makes it easier to edit and like put in like because we all have drastically different time zones. Like one of our people in our things from New Zealand, he's the guy who's playing Uatu. Great dude. Thomas is insane. I'm gonna drop a clip so we can play it at the end of this to be like, come see the thing, because this is our first promotion thing.
All right.
We have another promotion thing, but I have not edited that in time.
Yeah.
Sorry, y'all. Fuck you, Connor. I'm working on it.
I need to show my parents.
Oh, not that one. Oh, that one is we're waiting on Josh. I'm gonna kill him. But he's gonna see this. But essentially, what was I gonna say? Editing. But we do like line one because we can't really record all together. Like we couldn't just be like, okay, we're gonna throw this on and I'll edit it up and shit. But because the lines feel disjointed as a motherfucker if you just put them in blank. So what I kind of found you need to do is ground a scene, whether it be like through. I'll keep saying. You have to kind of ground a scene. Like this is a light spoiler, very light. But for one of our episodes, Mystique and Destiny show up, and in one of the scenes, they're in a coffee shop, and just their voices alone, hearing them go back, it's uncanny and weird. Because with a movie or something, you have a visual element to kind of ground everything together. To be like, okay, this is all happening at one point together. It's all working. Visual component, or animated show, you have a visual component. You don't have that shit. So you're just hearing different snippets of different recordings. Mm-hmm. So there should be some like through line, music and like ambiance is what you need to do that. Like for that cafe scene, I put the chatter of civilians, and then to double that with that, I put an Italian. I know it's technically like wrong area, but an Italian violinist's melody over it.
Traveling.
Excuse me.
The violinist. He was just traveling.
Yeah. No, it's a traditional Italian melody, and I put it over it, and it's just to kind of add to that more flow. Because without it, there's no like a consistent through line within really helps you helps your ear kind of ignore the fact that like they're happening in very different places. Because your ear's already fucked because everyone has different audio like qualities with their mics. Like some are better, some are worse. But so because of that, you need an extra through line. And that's whether it be music or just ambiance, it's how it kind of has to work from an editing standpoint. I'll let Henry talk a little bit more about the writing standpoint, since I'm doing everything else in this song. He's also writing. And Connor talk about acting. So
real quick before we get into the writing, with your editing, are you also like sort of like the original radio shows? Like, would you be like crumpling things up to make different sound effects and doing stuff like that?
So the beautiful thing about that is, that's called Foley, by the way. But with Foley, because the internet exists, I can find fucking anything. There's a beautiful website called Adobe. If you buy their entire package and buy their Premiere stuff, which I don't like using Premiere. I weirdly use iMovie to edit everything. I own Premiere, and and I choose to edit on iMovie.
Oh.
I like iMovie a lot. I know how to use Premiere too. I just hate it.
The writing perspective is certainly interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not anything I've done before, and I've greatly enjoyed it and working with everyone. But with that, I have to go. I've been called away.
Okay, absolutely.
I'm very sorry about that.
No worries.
The rest of this when it happens.
All right. Yeah. No worries.
Again, very sorry.
Bye,
I
H-man.
can't hear Henry at all.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
He's
yeah. Thank you for coming on, though, Henry.
No problem. I'd do it again.
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
Goodbye.
Bye, Henry. I can't hear a word he's saying. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah. No, but with the like the Foley of it, there's Adobe has like packages where you can find literally anything.
Makes sense. Okay.
Just it's a bunch of zip files, and it's like weaponry, and then it'll go through like 40 guns, and I'm just like, oh my precious child. And it's all license, like it's completely free with the license.
Nice.
Like it's like I don't even have to credit them. I don't have to credit a lot of people, but I'm gonna at the end of or in the description of every episode, wherever we're uploading this, which is probably gonna be YouTube and then Spotify. If I can find a way to get on Apple Podcasts, I'm gonna get on Apple Podcasts. I'll do a tiny bit of research.
Apple Podcasts is an annoying place to get stuff on.
Hell yes, it is. But Spotify is because you can just use Anchor.
Yeah.
I used to have a podcast.
It's not actually called Anchor anymore, but it is.
Well, I know.
But it's Spotify for podcasters. As I was saying that just was, if you didn't know, you might have had trouble finding it.
Do you want to go? I'm kidding.
I don't. If you like, I'm like, I wasn't trying to say that to like correct you. I was like, if you don't, no, it's that it can be hard to find.
Oh, I know.
now,
I'm just fucking with you.
Which is annoying. I don't like that they changed it.
Yeah, Anchor's a better name too, but no, Anchor works fine. I'm probably gonna use Anchor.
Yeah.
And then you post on YouTube and shit because those are everyone has YouTube. And then people are usually split between Apple Podcasts and Spotify for where they get their podcasts. So I'm probably just gonna do YouTube and Spotify and what we called it, even though I use Apple Podcasts. Because it's already downloaded on my phone. I don't need to like.
Makes sense.
It's also there's no ads.
As someone who has a podcast, I know absolutely how annoying it is trying to get on Apple Podcasts, and I'm pretty sure it took it. So I remember waiting for days to get it approved or something, and then then I also had to do like hours of more information putting in stuff to get it to do it. I'm like, oh my god,
that is quite fun. But at the end of every episode, I'm going to essentially put a bibliography of like, hey, this is where I got everything, and it also is going to like hold like if any of our VAs have like a website or something to link it to that. It's also going to link it to the 928 Google site that I need to revamp because I made it at like midnight. Like a fucking moron. But Connor, I want to talk a little bit about like how voice acting this is different from doing other projects.
Oh yeah, I think just a big difference from this project to the previous stuff I did for Logan, back for all of his stuff, is a nice thing is after I record all my stuff, I can go back into the Google Doc and I can listen to the rest of the cast and just and I can use a little bit of how they act to influence how I give my own performances. It feels a little more interactive, and being able to hear from everybody else it shows me, at least helps me appreciate how amazing the rest of the cast is. I mean, we talked a little bit about our guy Thomas, who voices Watcher the Watcher, and who is our narrator, and Red Skull. He is fantastic. Like, I'll use this opportunity to talk about a lot of the members of the cast. He with Thomas as our narrator, he has like the silkiest, smoothest voice. I remember John being flabbergasted that they got somebody as that great as our narrator. He reminds me a little bit of Chris Parnell for Batman: The Audio Adventures, if you're familiar. Another really great audio drama.
He's Thomas is the most insane man I've ever met because he is doing for some nerdy kids like fucking audio drama. And he's just like, yeah, sure, I'll do this for free. And I'm like, oh, you have the voice of like you are Morgan Freeman's like sneeze.
Morgan Freeman sneeze.
I'm not saying he's as good as Morgan Freeman, but he's like that essence of him. And I'm like, oh, you are a magnificent, wonderful
to be
man
honest,
with a beautiful voice.
I don't think I've actually seen any just voice roles from Morgan Freeman. So he could be just as good as Morgan Freeman would be in a voice role.
Well, it's called he does narration work all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Happy
right,
Feet.
yeah.
I was just thinking maybe they have like animated movies. I'm like, I don't think there is any animated movies I know of that he's.
I'm gonna call it IMDb right now.
Yeah, while John's looking that up, I'll talk a little bit more. As far as my own recordings, not much is. I feel like it feels like a lot of the same, but with recording each line individually, that it's taken a lot more time, but it gives me more incentive to make sure everything is done right. I feel like I'll run through the same line like 10 different times, doing different inflections.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember my recordings for J. Jonah Jameson for the Spider-Man project with Logan, I would flub over that same line like 5 different times in the same recording. So like there'd be a bunch of bloopers, and this time like I don't think there's really bloopers, just different takes. And it really feels like I can kind of flex my acting chops. And then there will be like full scenes where I am just talking to myself. And
there's a few scenes with like Namor and Fury and with Zola and Zemo.
And then also and Fury.
The Lego movie. The Lego movie is what he voice acted in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right, he was Vitruvius. Anyways, yeah, like I remember after spending half an hour on that whole Zemo Zola thing, I get to a scene between Nick Fury. I will specify it is the white Nick Fury.
Did you have your cast member do a Hasselhoff impression to it?
No, for Nick Fury's voice, I sound a little bit like this, or that suave action hero spy voice.
It's very like spoofing an action hero, not necessarily an action hero himself. An action hero.
Nick Fury, Director of Shield.
Yeah. I do need to correct it because I think I call him Sergeant Colonel and Director of Shield. At choice. I really hope I think I may call him General. So it's the timeline's diverging if anyone's fucking cares.
Anyways, yes, but there will be scenes where I'm talking to myself, and instead of spending an hour doing both lines over and over again, I will just run the whole thing in one take.
Which those takes are often the best because again, it doesn't have the same disjointedness.
Yeah, and then when I'm talking to myself, like I will quickly switch back into both lines. I goes, Fury, how you do? I'm going to kick your ass, Phineas Horton.
I feel like that's really hard in your throat. Switching back and forth.
That's the motto of the show. Really hard in your throat.
Yeah, so how do you destroy my throat? And phrasing.
I have Zola just screaming in one of those scenes.
Oh my god, yes. I remember when I recorded the lines where Zola is screaming. I was screaming so hard that I was sweating.
Oh man.
There's also I need y'all to get your punches in, by the way. Like the grunts.
Right, yeah. I'll take care of that tomorrow when I'm back. Anyway, yes, it's
every time I've tried to like record for where I'm doing a voice afterwards, or it's for the entire night. Next night, my throat is in pain, so I cannot imagine also trying to go between two voices.
But then it also sounds wonderful. Like I'll send you the file after this is done. No one else gets to see it. In fact, keep this in because I want you motherfuckers to know you aren't special. You don't deserve this. You'll get it.
Yeah.
This is also the first announcement of our release date. The show comes out, or the first episode, anyways, comes out on July 4th, 2025. We'll be releasing weekly from there. I need to check what date what day of the week July 4th is. But it'll be releasing every time like that hits. Most likely with me procrastinating my editing, it's gonna be edited between weeks.
July 4th is a Friday, by the way.
I literally usually end up editing my my podcast the exact same day as I put it out. I also procrastinate a lot.
Yeah, whenever I'm writing my own stuff, I will just drop it the final day I actually finish it.
Yeah, I don't edit, but like when I'm done writing something, I have rarely looked back on it. Like I'm saying, I don't even go, like the most I'll do is go back for a spell check. Outside of that, I don't look back and be like, there's no.
Yeah, you don't do spell check at all.
Fuck you.
For my editing on my podcast, as I decided just like a few months into doing my podcast a few years ago, I can't do extensive editing because it was just so tiresome how long it would take. So I started just like making mainly the only editing I do on my podcast be just cutting out when there's dead air. That's all I do. I would edit out usually, unless somebody asked me particularly to edit something out. Because I was just like, it would mess with my mind because I repeat words a lot, and when you have to you have to listen back to your podcast. You really get in your head about stuff like that.
I swear a shitload, just because that's the way I grew up. So because of that, I will listen back and I'm like, oh God, I shouldn't be around kids. Because I'm just like fuck, shit, cunt, and like I hope you don't believe your stuff.
Because no, I leave. My podcast is marked as mature, so you can curse all you want.
Fuck yes. Okay, cool. I probably should have that beforehand.
I've been cutting back on the swearing because
no worries.
Connor's a swearing machine. Connor beats me and swears.
You guys, you were talking about how it's white Nick Fury in your show. Since it's an audio drama, I think you guys should have like some other character at one moment when they're talking to Nick Fury be like, "Oh, it's white Nick Fury." Just so the audience knows that's what you're going for, or it's just gonna be hilarious.
Whenever the casting's like officially announced, I plan to make character posters for each character.
Oh, no.
Thank God.
For Connor's, I'm making a square of like 4. But like on that character poster, usually I'm not gonna have their next show, but their next show at this time, because I'd be like chest down shit, but I'm gonna have that next show so it's white, just so like everyone knows. And it's not like, oh, we did not cast a half-white guy to play him.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so I'm a little confused. They're like, whose neck is being shown?
Nick Fury.
White Nick Fury.
Okay, so why do you need to show his neck specifically?
Where else does he have skin showing on his costume?
His face?
Does he wear a mask?
It's not face. It's neck down.
Does he have?
I don't make. I'm making these posters. I'm not a good artist, so I'm making an Adobe Illustrator. So these minimalist pieces, like the poster I've been using for Captain America: Spangled Man, kind of like that. I have one made for Black Panther, which that one is really easy because it's just diamond, black.
I don't know. So my next question is, what is the main cast of characters, and are there any surprise characters that, without spoiling them, you think fans will be excited to hear about when the episodes release?
So I'm gonna go over all the ones that Connor's not playing, and then Connor will go into his spiel.
Okay.
But we have, of course, Captain America. I'm not gonna say a ton of who these people are. I'll tell you, like I told you about Thomas. I told you about Connor. Like that's about it. But the official like cast release dates will come with the trailer. Which that should be dropping around May. This is kind of like an early preview thing, which also include like the earliest shit for this. But for like just the cast of characters we have recurring characters. We have Steve Rogers, of course, Captain America, Star Spangled Man. We have Bucky Barnes, the Kid Soldier. he was fun to write. We have Dum Dum Dugan. We have Gabriel Jones. I'm trying to think about all the characters Connor's not playing. We have our narrator, Uatu the Watcher. Again, Thomas with his silky smooth voice. We have Red Skull, of course. We have Connor, go into your list of characters so I can think of who's not.
All right. So for the 5 characters I am playing, of course I'm playing Phineas Horton, creator of the Human Torch, Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., Baron Heinrich Zemo, Dr. Adam Zola, and of course Namor Mackenzie, the Submariner, Imperious Rex!
Every single time you've said who you are, you've done the Imperious Rex. I respect you.
Yes, in the audio logs, there is just a minute-long file of me just screaming that over and over again.
Thank God, because I'm going to use a shitload of
those. Which it makes sense to me since like whenever I try to do voices, there's always a phrase that I will do because that gets me into the voice.
Like when I was a boy.
For Fisk, it's vigilantes.
The rest of the characters we have Human Torch, of course. We have T'Challa, the Black Panther. And then 2 characters I mentioned briefly beforehand. There's a funny story about one of them. It is Irene Adler and Raven Dark, Mystique and Destiny. Because originally I wanted to do an episode with Magneto as a child, but then I realized, oh God, I, a white atheist man who grew up Catholic, probably shouldn't touch it.
I can understand that.
Just good idea. Don't touch it. So instead, this episode is now featuring Mystique and Destiny. When I was giving voice direction to Destiny, who's played by one of my best friends in the whole wide world, when I was giving voice direction to Destiny, I told her Scottish. You're probably wondering, John, why Scottish? I confused her with Moira McTaggart in my head. I knew what she did. I knew she told the future. But for whatever reason, I thought she was Scottish because I was thinking Moira McTaggart. I was wrong. And it's too late to go now. And I do like the Scottish voice. I think it really helps distinguish Mystique a little more. Also, our Bucky actor is doing one of the male Mystique voices. The rage on that man! Holy shit! It is insane because it's, oh, hi there, cat, and then it's my love, and I'm like, the fuck you doing? It's insane.
Oh, no. Next, I want to ask, since you said you guys want to do multiple seasons of this, are there any characters that in the future you would like to explore that you're not going to be exploring in this first season?
There's a lot of Invaders characters I want to use, but I didn't because I with Champions we only got 14 auditions, which that's a good number. It's not enough though. So I was trying to limit the cast as much as possible, and then we would use those voice roles a few more times in case we needed other characters. Connor, Nick Fury was originally in the things because I wasn't expecting to use him, but now we're using him.
Do you think there'd be a chance that we just go back to Champions where I just fill in the gaps?
Maybe you may play Baron Blood. If I ever release those episodes, or Dario Agger, who also appeared in that show.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, anyway. Do the whole corporate spiel for me. I really love that Al Ewing moment. But in season 2, so the plan for season 2 right now is or what I can say about it, because right now it's not written at all. The first half of the season is the 40s, early 50s environment after Captain America gets put in the ice. Because we all know he's going to be put in the ice. This is just like, it's not a spoiler to say so.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you may say it is, Connor, and cut me off on the other thing. I'm not mad. Don't understand why in the letter bit, because I'm not editing that shit out.
Sorry, say that again?
The whole like Captain America going in the ice thing. And how that's not really a spoiler. Even though I told you it was a spoiler, bitch. Because it's assumed Captain America goes in the ice.
Well, yeah.
His origin. But what's called? It's gonna follow the Marvel universe post Captain America going in the ice. following Jeff Mace, from Captain America Patriot, and
Nice.
so that'll be fun. So with that, I get to use the Liberty Legion, and with the Liberty Legion, I plan to use characters I wasn't really could use this season, like Blazing Skull, and oh yeah, also everyone go look up Blazing Skull's origin right now. It's insane. I told Connor last night. I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna quickly go over because y'all gonna get to hear this. Mark Todd, he's an American reporter in the 40s going over to Japan for the Daily Bugle. So he goes over, he gets stuck in a cave with a bunch of Japanese skull men. Look them up. It's racism. And they teach him the ability to how to turn his skin invisible and light and be resistant to fire.
Okay.
So he doesn't shoot up fire. He's not a ghost rider. He's a guy who can walk through fire and has invisible skin. He sucks. He's kind of like Director Bones from DC, where it's like, oh, you're kind of you just have invisible skin, which was portrayed amazingly in Stargirl. I really like how Director Bones looks in that show. I like Stargirl a lot. Stargirl's a good show.
Oh yeah.
I'm also on a JSA kick right now, so that's probably why I'm gonna bring up the JSA at least one more time. And my goat, Johnny Thunder, but also the Mighty Destroyer. I want to use Mighty Destroyer, Union Jack, the Wizard, Miss America, Golden Gal. There's so many great Flexo that we're using him. But there's so many great 1940s Marvel characters that I'm like, oh, Arcus the Vision, that I want to use, but I didn't really have the opportunity to. Now we're here, and so they'll maybe be part of the Liberty Legion. We haven't fully decided that show's not written yet. And then also in season 2, the second half of the show is gonna be like Captain America and the Avengers.
Nice.
So that'll be fun writing like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Iron Man. Oh, fun fact about Iron Man in this little kind of universe is Phineas Horton's grandpa.
Oh, cool.
This is like a little I don't even know how we're gonna mention it, but Horton's daughter is Maria Stark.
Which makes sense. As you said, he's basically just as Howard Stark. Your Howard Stark.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
Hopefully we can bring Connor back on to play Tony Stark.
Well, truth is, I am Iron Man.
Okay, maybe we can find someone else. Oh, Connor's gonna cut me. I'm scared of Connor. Don't hit me, Dad.
I'm gonna hit you with this clamp.
Why do you have a clamp?
I made it in my manufacturing process class.
Of course you're in that class.
It was required for my major. And it's gonna be required to enter your skull.
So, my next question is what got you into comics and wanting to make your own show?
Could you repeat that question real quick? Sorry, I was too busy laughing.
What got you into comics and wanting to make your own show?
So I guess this one's just what got you into comics. I'm about to make everyone feel really old. When I was a kid, young, 8 or 9, I picked up a trade of Miss Marvel, from 2016-ish, and that got me into comics, full ass. Then I read Champions, and then that got me into buying comics, and then not buying comics, but buying trades and shit. And then I read Strange Academy, and that got me into buying comics week to week. Now we're here, and I get really bored a lot when I'm in class and shit. So I'm like, okay, I need something to do. So I'm like, I'm gonna write this. Now the issue is editing, which I can't really do in class since headphones shit. So I'm just like, I'm like, I want to pay attention to fucking class. So that's now a bitch. But it was mainly something to do because Champions was originally something to do to kind of do something instead of doing shit I need to do. And then Captain America came along because I'm good friends with Henry, and I wanted to do something with him as a project. So Connor, what got you into comics, big guy?
Well, I'd say I think what got me into actually reading comics was probably back in freshman year of college. For my writing seminar, I did a research paper on whether Wonder Woman could be considered a feminist icon. I'm not going to go into whole deep, but I realized like eventually I realized, okay, I can tell people I wrote this paper, but I've never actually read any comics. People are going to start realizing I'm a fraud. And I have a lot of weird opinions about Wonder Woman. So the thing I can do is I should read Wonder Woman comics. So when
Yeah, that
people
would
call
definitely
me on
help.
my idiocy, I can say, I did my research and still believe this.
What are your weird takes on Wonder Woman?
I like her on the JSA.
Yeah. To be fair, I like when Hippolyta is on the JSA, or however, Polly. I'm gonna call it Polly. I like when Polly's on the JSA. I don't love Diana on the JSA. I also don't like the idea that like Diana and Dick are the same age.
Oh yes,
People
I
are
hate
like
that. I hate that with a
people
burning passion.
people are the weirdest because they're either like she's a billion years old or she's 12, and I'm like, what?
I think about I say Themyscira's time works differently. So she's at least by modern day about 60, so about 10 or 20 years older than the main team. But that's neither here nor there. This
I
is
like
supposed
it.
to be about Captain America.
I like when Wonder
Anyway,
Woman's
what
like,
got me into comics is spite.
Yeah, I do really want to know though. Did you what did you come up with of is she a feminist or not?
Oh, I'd say she very much can be, but editorial keeps screwing her over.
Tom
Yeah.
King.
Yes,
I
Tom
think
King.
that
That just ruined my chance to
so
get into the comic industry.
I think that that she's a character who is absolutely someone that women can look up to, but there's a lot of weird stuff about how she was created.
So I did a I did a project one time about like the work of how did comics work as propaganda during World War II and their lasting impacts on the comic book industry. And I read about 100 issues of the Trinity from DC. By far, Wonder Woman was the most racist, like writing wise. Holy shit! Oh, like oh my god, I am 90. Like it was Golden Age Wonder Woman is the most insane shit I've ever read because it's like it's lesbians, bondage, and racism.
Not not
Written by
terribly
the guy that
surprised.
invented the lie detector.
No, with what I've heard of the creator of the of Wonder Woman, I'm not terribly surprised by that. Seems like there's a lot of weird stuff with him.
Yeah, William Moulton Marston is one of the probably one of the horniest people ever in the comic industry.
Would you say hornier than the comic artist who literally draws over porn?
Gosh, who is that guy?
I don't remember what his name was, but I seem to remember a few years ago hearing about how there was someone who for all of his comic books, he would draw over or porn.
I'd say to answer your question, yes, he is more than that guy.
Now the next question is: if you got to be Kevin Feige for a day, what character or story would you immediately greenlight a film or show for? Connor answers since we can't hear John.
John, your audio is not working. Audio listeners, you can't see this, but he is just screaming into the void. He's like a mime in a little box.
I imagine he is just saying fuck over and over again.
Anyway, to answer the question is since we've been talking all about the Captain America stuff, I think something that I would definitely greenlight would be a Captain America movie where he goes up against where it's Captain America and the New Avengers versus Baron Zemo leading the Masters of Evil.
Oh,
where it's Zemo who's taking like the remains of the Thunderbolts.
Oh.
He's killed Val and John Walker, and he's been like a corrupting force for the rest of the team. Where over his whole time of being like anti-super soldier supremacy and all that, he's basically gone like full opposite direction, where now his goal is just to destroy all superhumans. And it's Captain the New Avengers trying to stop him for that.
Yeah, I could definitely get jokes on like that. I really want to have an Avengers film where they face a team of villains.
Exactly. We need like the general public yearns for the Legion of Doom.
I remember back when I used to watch the Arrowverse. I always wanted them to do a crossover where it was a team. It was they had the Legion of Villains of Legion of Doom against them.
Yeah, that's for when I first like started getting my DC Infinite account. The first comic I ever read with the account was Justice by Jim Krueger and Alex Ross, which is just the Justice League going up against the entire Legion of Doom.
Yeah, I remember I remember back then I even like was thought think about like these are the different characters from villains from each of the shows I would want them to use like from the Flash I would have them do Mark Hamill's Trickster, or I'd have them and as well have them have the Reverse Flash, and then we could have have Slade Wilson from Arrow and maybe Vandal Savage from Legends, and I think it would have been such a cool thing if they had done a crossover like that.
Maybe finally let them use Brainiac.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, finally. You're no longer a mime screaming.
I was screaming so much. The other people living in my house texted me.
So much that you were sweating?
No, so much that I got texted. They thought I was killing someone.
What?
They were like, "Hey, do we need to call 911?" I'm like, "No,
no,
no, we're here next."
Speak for us, mime.
This mic costs too much money to be this fucked. I have another call directly after this because meetings. But anyways, the Kevin Feige question. There's a few answers to this one. I'm also going to give a DC answer because I'm also in a DC mood right now. So say I'm also James Gunn. But essentially, if I was Kevin Feige, I don't love the state of the MCU right now. So I wouldn't want them to do this. But I'd also love to see it. I would love to see a Champions show, like true Champions. This is not like a Monkey's Paw thing where it's like Young Avengers, but worse. Fuck, cicadas are back. Don't do that Monkey's Paw shit. But I would want like a true Champions thing, like Viv, Amadeus, Kamala, Miles, Sam. That'd be all just fucking amazing. No, we just adapt, except that weird like Wade trying to be political, but he's kind of an old man and he shouldn't try issue. Or I'm like, oh, you're being racist, man. Let's settle down. But outside of that, like I just like seeing on this or a Strange Academy animated series.
Okay.
That could be a lot of fun in the Moon Girl style. I think that could work really well.
Moon Girl style is really not
the Moon Girl is like, it's not a show meant for me because but it is the prettiest animated series I've seen in a minute. And I did watch the Beyonder episode because I love the Beyonder.
It is crazy how Lawrence Fishburne is like one of the main characters of that show.
Lawrence Fishburne is like producing the show.
I know that's crazy to me.
I love Lawrence Fishburne.
I'm pretty sure Lawrence Fishburne is like a huge nerd, so I'm not terribly surprised.
He's also just a good dude.
He forgot he was in Ant-Man too.
What's it called? But yeah, I like Lawrence Fishburne a lot. But at DC, a 50,000 episode show to Johnny Thunder. Woo! No, in reality, I'd just love to see like a JSA animated series.
Okay, cool, nice.
Yes, and we need more of the Shade.
I think it should be everyone except the Shade gets adapted, like the full ISA.
You know what? I'd be okay with him if he wasn't on the ISA, so the Shade would not be associated with Nazis.
There's no Nazis on the ISA. Name one Nazi on the ISA. Like seriously, this is not me like trying to fuck you. There's like no Nazis in the ISA. Don't look at the roster.
I mean, it's Perdegaton. I feel like he's a pretty
Perdegaton and
kind of Dragon King.
Okay, kind of Dragon King. Perdegaton's not on the ISA. He's just an asshole.
He's a founding member.
Okay, kind of, but he wasn't a Nazi at the time. Fuck you. Also, Prodegaton is my favorite JSA villain by far. He's so cool. He's so awesome. He's so cool.
My final question is this aside that has been asked a lot to Anthony Mackie recently, that got him into a lot of trouble for no good reason. It isn't, but what does Captain America mean to you?
Fuck. Okay. Should I kill myself now or later? Connor, do you want to start this one?
I
want me to start.
I have put a little bit of thought into this answer, and I think it's the same thing everyone says. Captain America represents, at least to me, what the United States can be. He is the romanticized ideal of what America has long thought they were, and I think there is still some potential for them to can be. And it's after just watching Brave New World, it's something to Captain America is an ideal to aspire to. And building off of the things that Anthony Mackie said, it's more about just being respectful and being someone who protects those who cannot protect themselves. Yes, you were right, John. It is Anthony Mackie got in trouble for that for no reason. If anyone actually listened to the whole thing, he actually says
he literally says the same thing that Chris Evans said in 2011. But I'm pretty sure they were just mad because he's a black guy.
Yeah, but to sum it up in one word, Captain America is an ideal to aspire to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, me. I didn't read this question.
Your turn, John.
So we're here now.
I thought you wrote down all the answers to these questions beforehand.
No. I just read through them and thought about them. I've done quite a bit of interviews. I never expect someone to write down the answers. I'm just thinking.
You told me to do that before this last night.
Well, I don't know how many interviews you've been in. I interview and get interviewed a lot. It's part of my job. I work in journalism, by the way, just for your clarification. But Captain America is awesome. He's badass. He's just so handsome. No, but I think it's this idea of again, what Connor says, that's the major point everyone brings up. He's not what America is. He's what America can be. It's a damn good answer. That's the right answer for what it is.
I would say what it's America should be.
When I'm thinking of Captain America, I'm not thinking of the Rockwell paintings of America. I'm thinking about fucking Steve Rogers, a scrappy kid from Brooklyn. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of a determined little asshole who Steve Rogers is kind of a dick. He's amazing, but I love him. Dick, just a little bit of dick. But that kind of fuels him. Being dick isn't always a bad thing, but I think people, when they think Captain America, they kind of go with the symbology of the character rather than the character himself. And I just prefer to think of the character himself. I think of Steve Rogers, I think of Sam Wilson, I think of the third person who took up the Captain America mantle, Bucky Barnes. I think those characters are Ian Rogers. I don't really think of now I can see Connor's one wheel turning.
Wouldn't Bucky be the fifth?
So, okay, no.
Wait, hold on.
Don't get into all the other Captain Americas. Just I'm thinking about the modern ones. I'm not thinking about Burnside. That's his name. Burnside or Jeff Mace or those four other guys Jack Roscoe.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of it.
Damn it now. Elle is now texting me to play 8-ball. Again, fuck her. She keeps kicking my ass. But there's removal of the character, the symbology that I think people need to deal with. Also, it's a comic book. Don't take it too seriously. For the love of God, people are oh, it's one of fuck off. I love comic books. They should not these, as most forms are, shouldn't be taken too seriously. And I think that's just the brass tacks of it. I think people get a little freaked out about oh, Captain America and shit, but I'm almost go read his comics. Half the time he's fighting snake people. He fights snake people or fucking Joaquin Torres becomes a vampire.
So for me, for one, I think that there's two parts to it. I think on one hand, every comic ever made is political, and that's sign that people need to just come to grips with just like every story from the beginning of time is political, but it also doesn't have to be taken seriously. Seriously, like you said, he's fighting these ridiculous things, which I think a lot of people seem to aim to forget that every comic book character they fight ridiculous villains, and that's not a bad thing. That's a part of what makes comics great. It like the like you know I think a lot of people think that comics are just the most popular stories. When in reality, if you go to any individual random issue of a comic, you're gonna have one of those just ridiculous random villains.
Yeah, that's what I love about comic books.
Yeah. It's like for every Red Skull, you have like 14,000 like turtles.
Mm-hmm.
There's a character. There's Egg Foo. Egg Foo should not be taken seriously. There's Armless Tiger Man. Like there's Kite Man. There's like a billion. There's like for every like, oh, I'm an anarchist. There's like, I'm a mouse guy.
There is a Christmas Hulk comic where he fights the Rhino wearing a Santa suit.
Exactly. There's what's it called? Like Immortal Hulk. The what's it called? The I'm gonna call it the greatest Hulk of all time, next to Peter David's. Of course, like just second to it. But like there's just random issues where like he fights stupid shit.
Yeah, and I think people seem to forget that. I think they think that comics are just these big famous storylines like World War Hulk, all Crisis on Infinite Earths, Devil's Reign, Born Again, and these big storylines you can name. I think there's people who think that those are all that comics are, when those are like just a portion of what comics are, versus the actual vast majority is these random villains.
Yeah, it feels like there's for every Death Gwen Stacy, there's like 4 Spider-Man plots where he's like fucking with a trapster. Or sorry, Paste Pot Pete.
And that's why I with Spider-Man, I want to see a Spider-Man film where it is just simply a simple Spider-Man film where he's just facing a random ass villain, and he's just quipping, making fun of the villain the whole time. It's just a fun film and not something super serious.
The issue with the like kind of people kind of thinking of people also don't think comics are serious. People think comics are kind of dumb, which that's also stupid. Comics are also amazing. Like go read any Ram B book or Al Ewing book, or Kelly Thompson book, my girl, Bestie, what's it called? But it's comics adaptation wise cannot work as movies. Like they can work as movies, but also every movie has to be kind of like a big event or people aren't going to see it.
It has to be like I hate the idea that they have to be big events.
And then when the events are there, they're big events. Like they're massive, they're huge. I'm like, and how do you top that? Like it leads to like what can top Thanos? What can top Kang? All this bullshit. But like comics work best in show format. Because it's
and people think that even the shows need to be events. I'm like, no, they don't. No, they can just be the character living their life.
As much as people didn't like it, as much as even I didn't like it, I kind of like a lot of stuff. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was a really good way to go about like superhero media, where it's it's a bunch of these like Speed Demon shows up, the Unicorn shows up, like all these
exactly
absolute losers, and then Scorpion shows up, and he's a big deal, but not a terribly big deal. He's like it's kind of like the serious story out of like the 5 goofy ones. That's how it should be. It should be like here's your goofballs.
Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is what I mean of like I wanted to of how signed to feel. I feel I'm kind of tired of how we had a sad thing happen with Spider-Man and Avengers Endgame, and then he's sad again in Spider-Man Far From Home, and then he's sad again in No Way Home. And then they made it so that there's a spell that makes it so he's gonna be forced to be sad again in the next Spider-Man film. Like, can't we just get a simple Spider-Man film again?
I hate that ending as much as people hate One More Day.
I hate the spell too. Yeah,
it's such a cop out bullshit thing where it's like, oh, we have.
I don't like it. My main reason for not liking it is because we've developed these amazing relationships with MJ and with Ned, and we just lost all that.
Yeah, like
we've also developed great relationships with him and the Avengers, and we've lost all that.
Yeah. Also, the guy who plays Ned is never getting cast for like a serious role ever because of the Spider movies. I got to see an early screening of Nova a couple weeks ago, and he's just playing Ned. He's playing Ned, but bald.
Which I don't mind because I like it. I like his personality.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad. I feel bad for a lot of actors because I know they get a lot of money per movie, but I'm also like, you're playing that character for the rest of your fucking life. Like whether it be in this franchise or another one, you've been
relegated to be the CEO of sex.
I also feel really bad because I think people are kind of making fun of him when they do CEO of sex. Sadly,
I do find it weird though that someone actually asked him about that in an interview. I'm like, that's such a weird thing to be like, hey, this is supposed to be a professional interview. I want to ask you about sex.
Are you the CEO of it?
I'm like, what?
Good sir, please tell us.
If they had done something like that and the person they were talking to was not male, that interviewer would have lost their job, I feel like.
Yeah. They're very lucky he was kind of playing ball a little bit.
Yeah. They're lucky that he's someone who's willing to joke around with it, but that could turn out so badly. And then also just a few weeks ago, someone also asked a male actor who wore a prosthetic penis in the White Lotus about his role in that. I'm like, why would you ask him about a sexual thing in an interview? I'm like, that just feels like you asking for yourself to get fired.
Yeah. Yeah. Any more questions?
Yeah, that's everything I had. So any final things you guys would like to say before we end this off? Yeah.
Go watch Captain America: Star Spangled Man on YouTube and Spotify on July 4th. This is going to be coming out like 2 months earlier.
Yeah.
The first stay tuned a little bit after this because there's going to be a little special clip for you. We all may also want to put this at the beginning. I may, if you need me to record a little section for that, we may do that. But there is a little clip of one of the scenes for Captain America. You have anything to say, Connor?
Oh no, just clear my throat.
Yeah. Go follow me at the Comics Fiend. Go follow 928 Productions just go look up 928 Productions. There's not a lot of other 928 Productions. It's a weird number. 928 as in 928. And then go follow Connor at Shade Gaming. I don't know what it is. Let me check.
No, it is a man in trench coat, but the O in coat is a 0.
Yeah, all one word, capitalize each letter, except coat. Coat is trench coat's one word.
Yes. Yeah. But and I Smash Trivia, John. That's how I designate the two of you. Thank you so much for having us on the show. I really do appreciate you giving us the chance to promo this.
Yeah, thank you for effectively letting us do a little promo for fan fiction,
especially given how this thing devolved into chaos.
I'm happy to have you. This is only the second interview sort of thing I've ever done on my podcast, but and I'm very happy to do it though, because that's doing interviews is something I've wanted to do for a while. So I'm very happy to be to get into it, even if it's not for something that's like some kind of big production or something.
Maybe we do another one of these when Logan's finally ready to promote his thing.
Yeah. Which I've been trying to get Logan on my podcast for a while, and he said he's wanted to come on, but it's never seemed to work out so far. But we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, we'll wait and see.
Me and Connor are chill to pop on whenever else you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you guys are welcome on, come on again anytime. If you guys want ever want to review something in particular, just let me know. No, and I'll be happy to get you on. So that's really everything to say for this episode. So thank you everyone for listening. If you like this game analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episodes. Please let me know. And if you'd like to listen to more from me, please subscribe. Many more game analysis from me coming. So keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Smash John, signing off.
Steve Rogers, the man who dreamed of fighting for freedom, now found himself battling a far stranger foe. Stage fright.
Punch Hitler in the jaw. Buy war bonds. Yeah, a real hero.
There you are! It's almost time.
Time for what? To dance around in this ridiculous getup again?
Time to inspire people.
Look, I get why we're doing this, Peggy. But I'm supposed to be out there, on the front lines, not doing this.
I know it's not what you wanted. But people don't just need soldiers, Steve. They need a symbol. A reminder that there's hope even in the darkest times. And right now, that's you.
I just didn't think being a soldier would mean waving pom-poms.
You're better at it than you think.
Hey, is this Captain America's room?
Yeah? Who's asking?
Name's Bucky Barnes. I'm a big fan.
A big fan, huh?
Yeah, and I just got hired as his assistant. They said I'm supposed to boost the kid appeal.
Wait, assistant?
Yeah, you know, they help you out with your shows, carry your shield, stuff like that.
You're just a kid.
14 and a half, and I've been practicing. Okay, maybe not the shield yet, but I'll get there.
Look, kid.
Oh, Steve, I think it's sweet. And he's right. Having someone like him around might make things a little less lonely.
All right, fine. But no heroics. Got it?
Got it.
Rogers, you're up at 5.
You're on.
Hey, Cap?
Yeah?
You're gonna do great.
And so, Captain America took the stage, not as the soldier he longed to be, but as the icon the world needed. With a young sidekick by his side, and a crowd cheering his name, Steve Rogers stepped into his new role. But for all the applause, his thoughts were never far away from the battle waiting for him beyond the spotlight.